Hey community, here's what's brewing today.
Beyonce.
Renaissance.
Tour. So get your cups ready for Minoritea Report.
It's the fantasy, darling. It's the fantasy. Hey, welcome to Minoritea Report. It's Auntie Carell.
It's Auntie Dewan.
And it's Auntie Jarrell.
Yes, darling. Yes, darling. Yes. And if you ain't watching YouTube right now, you got to see this opening. So listen to it on Spotify, Apple, where you listen to. Download it. Get our numbers up still. But then also watch it on YouTube because this is going to be a wig episode.
Yes.
So we got the wig back. It's been a minute since we had a wig episode.
Yes.
And there's a reason why, because this is an all Beyonce episode. So if you're a hater, you might want to go wash your hands, and see you next week.
Still stream the entire episode.
Please
Still stream the whole episode. Let's be clear. We need those streams.
And subscribe, hit the bell button, all that good stuff. Help us continue to get our numbers up. Actually, and let me just tout us. July so far is looking to be our biggest month so far, ever. So thank you, community. Y'all can tell your friends and your husbands and your baby daddies. Continue to do so. Thank you. Ow.
Yeah.
Now, all right, all three of us have finally, I know it was me, seen Beyonce's Renaissance World Tour. And it also just happens to coincide with a year later of the Renaissance drop. So,
yes,
we want to just, the episode, really go through the acts and everything of the tour, but then also just give our impressions a year later of this movement, of this album, our review. Has it still held its mark? Has it kind of dwindled? Do we have new favorites and all that good stuff? So, before we get into all that in the weeds, I promised Corey I would tell this story real quick. And that's his shirt right here from the concert behind us, Beyonce with her titties all out. He bedazzled the shirt, by the way, because we're about to go see her in New York again this weekend. So I guess it would have been yesterday by the time this episode comes out. But we're sitting in the fucking stands of Beyonce Renaissance, tens of thousands of people. And you know Corey already thinks he's the biggest star on earth as it is. Tell me why we're sitting there and this girl gets up out of the middle aisle. So we sat at the end of the aisle. We're like the second row up in section 100. So perfect seating to see everything. So I waved to Beyonce's hairdresser down there. I was like, hey, boo. And everything.
The one we met in LA?
The one we met in LA. Yeah! and I told Corey, we met him in LA. And so I gave him a little wave. He I don't think he remembered me, but at least he was giving a little wiggle back. And so we get up off the road to let this girl out. And so we're holding up traffic to get back down, to get them down to the floor seats. And this guy stops Corey and he goes, do you have a TikTok? Aren't you on TikTok? And he goes, yeah. He's like, oh, I watch your shit all the time. You on TikTok. And Corey was like, bitch, you couldn't tell this whole night. Corey's like, here I'm at the Beyonce concert and I'm the true star. And so they're talking everything. And this man could not pay me no mind. I was like, Corey's like, oh, this is my husband, Carell. You know, he's in the videos too. He was all about some Corey Edwards. I was chopped liver at that moment. And it was so funny because the couple that was sitting next to us, Corey had just told her, she's like, yeah, I do some stuff on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. And she pulls him out. She's like, oh, you got that many people? He's like, yeah, I know. And literally not 5 minutes later, this dude recognizes him from TikTok. And so the girl next to him was looking at him like, what? And Corey's like, I told you I'm a star. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my Lord. So he wanted to be on this episode to tell it, but obstacles.
I am dying that he went to tell that story. Ain't got nothing to do with Beyonce.
Ain't got nothing to do with Beyonce.
No, Beyonce was at his show.
Period. And so we leave the show. We're walking back to the car. Everybody's just on this Beyonce high. And Corey goes, he's like, you know what, and I'm still just it was after I sent you guys a message of just bitch, I don't know what I just saw. Corey goes, you know what my favorite part of the concert was? And I'm still thinking he goes talk about Beyonce. He goes, when I got recognized at the Beyonce concert, I was like, this I was like, oh my God, only my human. But so I told him I would say the story, even though he got on my nerves tonight. Oh, Jesus. So, all right. So overall, where do we even begin? Like overall,
let's let you start because we've already had we've had our moment.
We've been there. So, we were there together.
Yeah, exactly. And we've kind of already expressed how we felt a little bit about it. So we're gonna let you start because you see it twice. So clearly,
clearly, I liked it and willing to spend the coin to see it again. That's the true tea.
Overall, do you feel like it? Since you've had to wait out of the three of us, you had to wait the longest and try to avoid, which is impossible. Try to avoid all the things, the set list, the everything. Yeah. Based on what you thought in your head of what the experience was going to be and what you actually experienced, how did they measure up to one another?
It far exceeded it because there's something about being in person for this particular tour that is not translating through the screen. So as fabulous as is looking on the fucking screen, being there is overwhelming. There was a moment in the middle of it, like I love the boohoo. I got weepy because I was like, we have literally the biggest star on earth doing the most Black queer thing that I have ever seen on this scale. And it's probably going over the heads of so many people in this stadium. But it doesn't matter. She made it for us. So like I've seen so many people with clips of white dudes saying, oh, we had to wait so long. And why is she doing 1+1? And why is she doing Dangerously in Love? It wasn't for you, ho. And it's so incredible. It was so incredible. Like, it was mind-blowing. There was so much going on that I was like, I don't even know what I am looking at right now.
Right.
So I was overwhelmed. I was
having a conversation with the right friend, and he was like, oh yeah, like there were so many empty seats and, people were leaving early. And I was like, well, I mean, duh, it's Minneapolis. I was like, y'all white people ain't checking for Beyonce like that. Yeah, I never have been. Let's be. And I was like, and furthermore, the concert, the album is made for Black queer people. It is the whole part. It is not an everyone album. Okay,
it's not even Taylor Swift. Sorry, album.
And thank you. And that's literally what I said. I was like, Taylor Swift ain't making music for Black people,
right?
So
have that Taylor Swift concert in Oakland. Have that Taylor Swift concert.
Bitch, my
Detroit.
Point exactly.
We'll see how thick them bleachers are.
My point exactly. So that's what I was just like. So you expect for this Black woman to go up there and cater to your white ass, honey?
And we've never been able to see it on the scale before for a Black person to do it that way. Yes, we've had like the Diana Ross moment in Central Park. We've had the Michael Jackson moments. And honestly, this is like my Michael Jackson moment. I never was able to see him in person. I don't foresee anyone in my lifetime, the rest of my life, and I'm hoping I'm here past 100 years old, that's going to be able to do it like this on this scale. Like, I don't foresee it. I don't foresee it. I don't even foresee Beyonce wanting to go bigger than this in the next tour. Like, I feel like this was her grand opus saying, I'm going to squeeze as much as I can into this show before I get either too old, before my voice goes, before my hip goes out. We already saw her foot hurt, so she ain't dancing as hard. Like, I feel like she was like, I'm going to put all of my love and everything into this one show just in case I can't do it again, whether it be physically or I just want to do something different. And you felt that shit.
How long through the concert experience? How deep? Because a concert is like 3 hours.
Honey.
3 hours.
Jam-packed hours.
It goes by like this. How long through that experience did you have this revelation?
Early on, actually.
And then I want to hear from Jarrell.
Because it was when so I guess let's even back up. She opens up herself. The first act was called Beyonce. And then even before we get there, just seeing all the amazingly beautiful people dressed up, a lot of the black queers out there were showing up and showing out. That was everything. It was hot as fuck that day. It was like 95 and like 70% humidity. People was falling out. Like we saw so many people get carried out on stretchers because it was so fucking hot. But just to see people still wearing like their full garb and everything, sweating their life away, that was dedication. And it was so lovely. The energy was so incredible. But it was after, honestly, the first act and then she goes into Renaissance. That was like, oh, I see why she opened up the way she did. She wants to give everyone all aspects of her career and showing y'all hoes this might be the peak. This might be the peak. And I'm okay with it being the peak. And that's why I felt the show was, that she was okay with this being as big and crazy as it needed to be. And then whatever the next acts are, and then whatever she does in 10 years, she's fine to scale it back down because she did this. And I felt it early on in this in the set list.
What about you, baby?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have to agree. Like, hearing, for instance, Flaws and All. Okay? Flaws and All is one of my favorite songs, especially on B-Day.
Yeah.
And the fact that the opening act is a dedication to her fans.
Yeah.
Like, the opening act is her singing us Dangerously in Love, Flaws and All. Like, she is singing to us, talking about how much she loves us. She opens it up with letting us know how much she loves us. And that is that was the moment. Because I'm sitting here like, I think this is going over people's head that she started with the ballad because she is grateful. She loves us. Like Mother is giving. She's letting us know. And then when she says, welcome to the Renaissance, it's like saying, welcome home.
Yeah.
Welcome home. Like, let's be ourselves. Let's be free. And let's go through all of it together. Like, you just see that switch. It happened immediately.
Yeah.
It happened absolutely immediately.
Did you feel it too, Dewan?
I did. I did. And for me, it was a little bit later because
you were late?
Well,
I didn't know that part. You was late? What you miss? What songs did you miss?
We got there after we got there during the opening song.
Okay, so she was still doing the ballads and stuff.
Yeah, we got there during the opening song.
Because if you're gonna miss anything, that's the one to miss.
I
guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
First of all, we were in Monsieur George. We were in Monsieur George hotel, like having champagne and I was gonna say beignets, but
croissants.
No.
Macaroons.
Macaroons. Yeah.
And just getting hammered and drunk and like having a good old time and whatnot. We end up leaving in two separate cars. And so Fizz and my sister and them, they went in the first car. We were going in the second car, and the second car ended up canceling. So we had to order another car, and that took about 15 minutes. And then when we got to the stadium, when you get out, you had to walk. You know that Stade de France, you got to walk. And I wasn't really prepared for that. And where we were on the floor was on the other side.
It wouldn't have been me.
And they would not let you in to a section that was not on your ticket. So you literally you couldn't just walk through and down and through. You had to go all the way around. So literally, as soon as we got up to the stadium entrance, that's when we heard the music starting. So we're like running, walking to get there. So
that's how anal I was. That show. I will give some. What word do I want to use? Not credit. I will agree. Acknowledgement that a lot of tickets did say the show started at 7. Everything in the email says started at 7, so she didn't start until 8:30. But I think what it meant to say is like the doors are going to open slightly before 7.
Yeah.
And, yes, correct. Because we knew it was going to start at 8:30.
We knew exactly it was going to start at 8.
Yeah.
And so we got there. I was like, Corey, I am not missing a 1, 2, 3. No. So we parked at the casino, which is like right next to the stadium. Parked there, went in there, grabbed a little bite to eat. Yeah. Corey gambled for a little bit, and we was in line by 6. I was like, And so staying in that heat
Yeah,
at 6 p.m. I was
Yeah.
like, I ain't missing this. I ain't missing nothing, ho.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to drink nothing. I won't be dehydrated. I ain't about to go to no bathroom.
The good part about the fact that we weren't there when it actually first started was that there were no lines. So we literally just went bloop, 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 walked all the way in. But I would say that it took me about, I want to say a little bit more than halfway in to really realize the magnitude of what was going on, because I was just, first of all, the hysteria of being late was just like, God fucking damn it. Here I am all the way across the world to go see this, and I'm late to the thing that I'm going to. So that was an internal moment. But then obviously that kind of fluttered away as soon as we walked out and saw like where we were and where she was. And it was like, okay, let's get into this gig. Yeah. And then I would say about a little bit more than halfway through, it just it really hit me, the magnitude of what Beyonce was delivering. It felt spiritual.
It did. I felt like I was just got done with church.
1,000%.
Like revival.
And everyone was on the same frequency. Like everyone, you honestly felt connected to thousands of strangers. Yeah. Like everyone was just literally on the same vibe. It was very much turn to your neighbor.
To your neighbor.
Say, hey. Right. It was very much that. It was everything.
I was about to say it was only missing the collection plate, but no, the collection plate was the prices of the ticket.
Price of admission, baby. They got it all. First, second, and third collection all together, honey.
But you was right. I saw where it went. Like there was a moment where she was just standing there. I think it was, and I got it in my notes. Maybe we'll go through the act. Remind me to say what I knew when she was spending money. So, okay. So community. Okay, we're going to go through the acts. We're going to go through the songs. So she starts with Dangerously in Love. So you said it was really the love letter back to us. Bitches was singing their hearts out to Dangerously in Love.
Yeah, let me tell you. Yeah. You know I was. Honey, you know I was.
That's when I knew we was in here together. I was like, oh, they already singing the Dangerously in Love? Okay. This is what we're doing today then. Okay. And then, let's see here. Then she went to, and here's the
Flaws and all.
I wrote in my notes here. She dropped the key down a semitone. Because the older you get, your voice gets lower, and it's hard to sing that high consistently during the tour. So a lot of artists drop their semitones, either a key and a half, at least a half a semitone. So she did that throughout the show to make sure she could make it through this tour, which was smart.
Well, and a lot of the ballads too, like mind you, that Act 1 is over 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like easily, right?
Because the original Dangerously in Love was Destiny's Child.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's singing high up there. So flaws and all, like she is singing in that song on the album, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that she was still giving it, not to the same, you could tell she dropped it down just a little bit, but that's a hard ass song to sing.
Period. Right before she does like another 2.5 hours of dancing and singing and everything else.
Look, my adrenaline was running so high during the concert. I didn't notice what key she was in. I was just like between what she was singing, what everybody around me, and what my ears were hearing from everybody screaming and whatnot and singing along. It was just like, do you, boo? Just do you.
My favorite like mix of her music and like another song was in Flaws and All. Like, because actually Flaws and All might not be my favorite song of Beyonce's. I'll listen to it here and there. It's one that I don't repeat as often, especially now. But she mixed that shit with Dynasty's Adventure in the Land of Music.
Yeah. Let me tell you. And let me tell you, Amorpheus put his shit in the remixes. Young black boy Amorpheus, he's the one who mixed all the songs for the tour.
I was like, I can't stand
y'all. His foot down there. Let me tell you, Flaws and All is my shit because the very opening line is, "I'm a bitch in the morning." And I said,
I looked at Corey when I sang that.
Look.
It's like no real words written.
Oh no! It's like
I'm a bitch in the afternoon.
The afternoon, I'm a bitch in the afternoon. Yeah,
it's like it is what it is. But it went that. I was like, bitch, what? And that stage was sparkling. It had all that backdrop. Oh, we didn't even talk about the stage, bitch. Like,
No, we just couldn't start it.
Yeah,
we
just
we literally can't start jumping around now.
oh,
yeah.
the clarity of
So-
falls and all in that stage, I lost it. I was like, take
Okay,
me out now.
so overall impressions, going back to
Mhm.
that conversation, how did it live up to what you expected it to be and
We
what
said.
it delivered?
Yeah, we said
We
it.
said, boo.
it.
We said
did.
we said that
It-
already.
It blew my
Just
No,
try
we
to
did.
try to get us
No,
back on track.
Yeah, no, we
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah, no, we in Act 1 now.
We didn't act one,
Falls and
girl.
all.
Yeah, we didn't move. We didn't migrated on.
So it is. Falls and all.
Act
But then
one.
after that was 1+1 with the mix of I'm going down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
care.
Okay, this was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me
Yep,
tell you,
right into I care after that. Yup.
yeah,
When
that
I-
was a Blackity moment when she went into the "I'm going down" part of it. I was like, again, I'm sitting there, and again, we were in Paris. Okay, we're in Paris, so I'm around a bunch of like white European. I'm like, damn, do y'all?
It's like, what
really-
y'all know
I
about
hope y'all-
this?
I hope y'all know this, you
Mm-mm.
know. But of course,
No, no, man.
Oh, they didn't know it.
What I appreciated about
Oh.
a lot of the remixes was the switch up of playing like the music from one song, but the lyrics to another song.
Yeah.
And like the mental game that has played on everybody listening, because you start hearing the song starting to be mixed in. You're like, oh, I know it. And then you hear the words. You like, what is this? Oh,
Yeah. No, that was another good mix. I think my favorite mixes were honestly all at the slower part of the show. Honestly, you were maybe able to appreciate them a little more because everything else after the Renaissance started was just so everything that you was just like shit overstimulated. I'm glad that she threw I Care in. 4 is one of my favorite albums by her. So anytime she throws us some 4 moments, I'm here for it.
Yeah. I think honestly, I really think I Care blew up from Beychella.
Yeah.
Like 4 was a good album, but that wasn't the song everyone was singing when 4 came out.
Yeah.
But when she did it in Beychella and they were J setting and they were just
Yeah.
boom,
Yeah.
bitch, that brought it back. That brought I Care all the way back.
Yeah, no, that's true. And again, she was a half semitone down on that one. And it was the ending of that was my favorite ending. How she ended I Care. That was another moment where I was like, oh my God, you musicians are killing You're killing me. You're killing me. And then like that was a moment where I just wish I had like my musician friends from like Atlanta, because that's where we just really nerd out and look at each other and punch each other and be like, bitch, I didn't even think of that. So, but then it went to, did it go into River Deep? Had Tina died?
No, Tina died when we were in Paris.
When we were in Paris.
She, literally the day before. She died the day before when we were in Paris.
So she opened up with
implemented that yet.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't. She hadn't implemented that. She had made an acknowledgement at the beginning of the show, but she hadn't changed anything up by that time.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so after I Care, she goes into River Deep, Mountain High, which is one of my favorite Tina songs.
She went to I'm That Girl for us.
Okay, so that was the end of Act 1.
After I Care.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm That Girl.
Everyone else is getting an extra song.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to a part where she's only done 3 songs in the very opening act. We'll get to that a little later too. And I was going to see if y'all noticed. But yeah, so after River Deep, Mountain High, it was kind of a little disjointed, I will say. You could kind of tell they like squoze put that in. But I'm glad she kept it because we just always know how much she loves Tina Turner. But the way it ends, it's almost like River Deep, Mountain High. It ends and she's just like, thank you. And then she goes off stage. You're like, okay, that was a little disjointed, but I get why it's disjointed because it was added after the fact.
Yeah, we didn't get none of that.
Go to Act 2. But before we go to Act 2, your first time seeing the visuals, bitch.
How crispy that screen was,
Oh.
Like, how you just gonna get that crispy ass screen that big?
I mean, that literally was like a take out of like the Michael Jackson playbook when it comes to like, you know, it was like definitely the modern version of it, but like she used every single single solitary millimeter of that
That's screen.
stage and that screen. And
she needed to, because like you forget how big stadiums are. Like she tiny out there. Like and like that's still with good seats. You're like, okay, you need these screens because this is crazy. And the choreography of the camera work was impeccable.
Impeccable,
yes, absolutely. That's a great point.
Ooh,
yeah. Because
so the
cameraman
visuals,
because there were moments where you didn't mind watching the screen. Like I don't like going to, I don't like going to any concert where I have to watch a screen. That's why I don't sit all the way up in them bleachers, because I can watch that shit better on my phone. So, but there were just moments where it was just like to see her on stage and then to see like the close-ups of her and just to take it all in and to see the duplication of her in the midst of the other, kind of like that archway with, all the visuals that were going on inside the archway. It was just, like I said, it felt spiritual. It felt like I've been trying to find the right analogy for this, because this feels like, those ancient civilizations that have like that, like that woman that can channel and that can like call on the spirits, and she like it's like bewitching in that kind of way, but not like in a witch kind of way, but like it just
be careful, because they already be saying she part of Illuminati.
The Illuminati.
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'll preface it with the this is not the perfect analogy, but it was the whole thing was very bewitching. I felt very lyrically and visually seduced through the entire, from the very beginning through the very end, and even up through the crescendo of the climax. It was so seductive, and the way that she used the visuals behind her to tell kind of a story that went from bees to the Matrix to like female empowerment.
Like she was showing you a different world, honestly, throughout the story.
It was next level. And
that's and that's what I'm saying. Like, my question about the visuals, not while she's performing. I'm talking about the visuals in between the acts.
Oh yeah,
that's
impeccable. It's impeccable.
Girl,
I like the one where I think my favorite one outside of, and we'll get to it, This Is America, is the one where it was just her and it's orange, and she go, and the camera go pop 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 pop, and it was just clean. It was clear as shit. She looked fucking gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
I was gorgeous. Like, this.
And then for those of y'all in the community that have yet to see her too, listen to the music in between as well too, because she's also remixing some of her other songs that she's not singing. During the visuals, so you getting more Beyonce.
It's damn near.
And that's what I feel. And that's what I feel like people don't give her the credit when it comes to her concert performances, because she will remix almost damn near her entire catalog and deliver to you. So even when she's not on stage,
everything, like this bitch is singing, and that's the other thing. Oh, she was singing her fucking face off too.
Girl. The mic was on. The mic was so fucking on.
Yes.
Okay, let's get into the second act here. So the visuals go into the second act, incredible, and then she come out in this like Kylie Minogue old school. The what was the Beyonce one from? Like this, like that kind of gold emblem outfit, and she did it on maybe the
BET Awards.
The BET Awards, and then also in Core she did again. But it's like this robot where she's just like, and the arms go, the chest goes, the crown goes, and she walks down that bitch, and nobody can outwalk fucking Beyonce either. That fucking bitch be walking, and she just goes. And then it's like, these motherfuckers ain't stopping
me.
These motherfuckers
ain't stopping. Look, and she just sitting there like,
oh. And then she's like, welcome to the Renaissance. And you're like, oh shit. Oh shit.
Dead ass.
And the dancers come out and they just eating from jump. And you're like, oh.
I'm that girl. I'm that girl is like now, I listen to that shit all the time because of how it opens the concert. It gives the energy, and now I listen to the album. a lot
differently.
differently now that I hear I'm That Girl. Bitch,
Mhm.
when I hear that beach house, I'm like, boom, boom.
Oh,
Bitch, I'm over here. Come on now.
it is.
I'm doing it, bitch. I'm doing it. I'm
Oh,
doing it.
and then like it goes from I'm That Girl, and let me see right here. I said the staging was incredible. All the blonde hair, loved the
Mm-hmm.
blonde moments throughout the show. And then when she said, and then when that beat come in,
Yes.
that shit was knocking so fucking hard. Bring the beat in. That's it. Boom. I was like, ah.
Mm.
It was
I'm
really
sorry, I'm
interesting.
like
Like,
reliving it in my spirit right
it was
now.
really interesting looking around, because when you're on the floor, oftentimes you have people just doing a choreography.
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about where you were, Jarrell, but like people were transfixed. They were just
Yeah.
like, I mean, of course, they were like singing and like hugging their friends and like, screaming and just like doing all of that. But like, I didn't see anybody doing any goddamn choreography because they were so like just focused on whatever was going on stage and just soaking it all up.
I mean, let's be honest. We were her eighth show or her sixth show, so like she was still very much working out the kinks and stuff like that prior to us. We knew that something big was going to happen in Paris, so I think everyone was just present.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now I feel like it'll be a little bit different because people are seeing the choreography and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So people are probably doing some of the dances.
Yeah.
I would be doing some of the dances. I mean, when she did formation, I was doing the dance of formation on the floor,
Yeah.
With your
right?
numb ass
Like,
feet.
girl, let me tell you, like she doing Crazy in Love, I was doing it,
But she did the original
bitch.
choreography again.
Girl, let me tell you, okay? I'm telling you, any song before Renaissance that had choreography that I knew,
You was doing
I
it.
was doing. Okay,
So you're
I
saying it
was
was just
doing.
Auntie Dewan's
My
section that wasn't doing the
section.
choreography.
And that is fine. Because I
He
do
said
not
the
need
late.
to be.
He said the
Look, I
late
don't.
section.
Honey, look.
No, 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 no. To be honest, I didn't say my section was. I said I was. Okay, I'm
That's
not
right.
speaking for the club. I'm speaking for myself. Okay,
My
I
poor.
was the one. Because let me tell you, because everyone else had their phones out. I I knew that there were a few songs that I wanted to record, and other than that, I wanted to be in the moment. So a
Yeah.
bitch was
I think I'm
doing
gonna be able to
everything.
do that more the second show because I try to be in the moment, but then again, you're like, oh, I want to just record some of this, especially like the song rendition. So at least I have that now. New York, when I see it, I'm literally probably gonna not record anything and just
Hmm.
Just
be,
take
and
it
that's gonna
in.
be so spectacular. So okay,
Yeah.
so it goes
Okay, keep
from
going.
I'm a Girl to Cozy, which I mean like Cozy's a whole ass bop
Hmm.
live, whole
Mm-hmm.
ass bop live.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes into Alien
Alien
Superstar,
superstar. Yep.
which mixed with Sweet Dreams as well. She had moments where
Yep.
she gave us the tease where you want to do the Sweet Dreams
Yeah,
shit. And then she go back into Alien Superstar. You're like, bitch, you got me.
I know. I'm so mad that became a trend,
Yeah.
like on TikTok and Reels of people being because it kind of now ruins the surprise.
I didn't
But
know.
I
I
okay,
didn't
yeah,
see
because you
that
hadn't
on
been
so
because you
Oh
haven't
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
yeah
You
Because
haven't
I
because
been
was
you
doing
hadn't
following.
been
Yeah.
yeah you've been following. But I can tell you for real in Paris, everyone was
oh,
Gooped.
it's like, oh,
Gooped.
Gooch.
girl,
You could
girl.
feel it.
Talk about snatching our souls and be like, oh here you go, you can have it back. You
Yeah,
can have it
yeah.
back.
My bad.
Just
You do the
yeah,
show. My bad. You right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You the professional. My fault. My fault. You right. And then after that, it goes into Liftoff, and then like the 7
Yeah.
Eleven,
In 7
and then that's
Eleven.
Hmm.
pretty much the end of that act. So
Yeah.
that act
Hmm.
Yeah.
came and snatched your wig, took you to outer space, you lifted off, and you're like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
I don't know what she's gonna do the rest of the show if that's the fucking like second act. This
And
is insanity.
wasn't that the part where she started like weaving in like the Matrix visuals?
Yeah. Yep.
In between,
In
yes,
Uh-huh.
between the two.
yes.
Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
Okay. I had popped an edible. Um and that
It's
shit
shocking.
hit. That shit hit during Cozy. And maybe this is where the transfixed comes from
Yeah.
because she was transfixed.
Yes.
But I distinctly remember looking at the screen and I'm looking at what's playing and I'm like, this looks like the Matrix. This looks like because you start seeing like little like green thing, like the green symbols that come down like the Matrix,
He
and
was
then
in
you
the
see,
Matrix with her.
honey, started to wonder if I was in a simulation.
I know that's right. And again, the screens were so clear that you might have thought so. Like that shit, the visuals were insane. The visuals were insane. But then, so it goes from that second act. She changes again. It goes into Cuff It, which is a whole ass bop in a live setting.
Yeah,
A whole ass bop.
Yeah. And it really gets
And it
people
was
moving. That is a great way
Yes.
to open the set, like the act,
Yes.
right? Because everyone knows that song, right? So
Yes.
then you just really get into it, and everyone, yeah.
It felt like summer to me. It felt like
Mhm.
summer joy, even though we know that was a summer song. Feeling that live felt different. Like you
At
heard the
this
song a
point-
little differently.
At this point, we're about an hour.
No,
Come on, maybe not an hour in yet.
not even close.
Maybe a closer to an hour, maybe
Yeah,
45 minutes.
No, we're like
Okay.
50 minutes. We're probably like 50
We're
minutes
approaching
in.
an hour.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Yeah.
it's hot, 90 degrees. How are you holding up at this point? That's what I'm wondering.
Sweating my life away. Like I wore a thin ass tank top, some hoochie daddy shorts, and some boots. Like I had a shirt on over it, and I was like, that was a wrong decision, Corey. I'm glad I put this tank top underneath just in case. I had bought a tour book and that shirt for Corey behind us. Threw my shirt in that bag. It was about to take the tank off too. It was so fucking hot. But it was worth it. It was worth it.
Because at a certain point, like the adrenaline starts flowing and you're vibing with everybody else, and you are literally shoulder to shoulder with people at this point.
Yeah.
And with all the, like this, and you better go, like all the energy that comes along with it.
Yeah. I put here, I'm looking at my notes because I like to just try to remember everything. I put the band played these major chords at the beginning before they went to Cuff It that like knocked me out. I was like, how did you think of that rendition to go into Cuff It? Killed me.
Yeah.
And then it went from Cuff It to Energy with elements of like countdown in it. I was like, oh, this might be the act that like, at least for the collective, just completely just musically. No, there's other. I don't know the whole damn show.
Because this is the act. This is the act where it opens up and she's in the back on that sparkly ass stage, right?
Yeah.
And she's up there, right? And the band's up there with her. Then her background singers are down there. Then her background dancers at the bottom. Yes, and it is just a whole. It's a whole fucking mood. It's a whole fucking mood. And that's why I like that it starts with Cuff It, because it's like the inside of a disco ball.
Yes.
Right. If you think about it, right. So that is like the perfect song to start it off, right? And then when you go into Energy, well, of course, because you take that energy of, dancing and disco, and you just amp it up even more.
Honey.
Ma'am.
And then I said, you better fucking walk that runway, Beyonce. Like, ma'am. If you don't get out of here.
Ma'am.
Now, we did not get the full Beyonce walk because she was a little hurt.
She was still a little hurt at that point.
No. She was way. No. She was way better because she didn't change the shoes. She didn't have on the two different size heels when we were there. I'm sorry, but I was right there. I was looking at the feet. I was looking at the heels to make sure we didn't have two different sizes. We had it. But I will say, I think on ours though, I think she had a little bit more of an assistant though, because some of the stage has like the little runway.
Yes.
And so I think she, on our show, I think she used a little bit of that, but
she was still walking.
No, she was still walking.
She was still walking.
And I got the video because on Break My Soul, which came after this, she walked right past I'm talking about I was 2 arms, bitch. 2 arms away from touching Beyonce.
Did she shake her ass in your face?
Yes.
Was you that right there? Was she
bitch, I was right there. I was
release
right
the wiggle.
there, bitch. Bitch, right there.
You better release that wiggle.
Girl.
And so, so it goes from Energy to Break My Soul. And then the Break My Soul has like the remix, like obviously the Vogue. So that pose.
Yeah, the Queen's remix. The
Vogue pose they do, and they just stuck there for a second. I was like, I can't deal with y'all motherfuckers no more. And then it goes to this will be the one mix that I say was not my favorite. There was elements of Break My Soul that they were kind of dropping the music in and out that kind of felt a little disjointed to me. And then even though I like Shake Your Body Down, I didn't need it. I like the original Break My Soul so good that like you could have just played that shit all the way through and I would have fell out. And so parts of it was a little disjointed to me, but it is what it is.
You talking about like the original Break My Soul?
No, this version, the tour version, because like it went from like the regular version, and it went into like the Vogue version,
the one with
the Shake Your Body Down, then it went to the Vogue version,
and then it came back.
I was
to
like,
something.
that was just like too many trying to mix it in. Like you had too many good ideas for that part. We didn't need the Shake Your Body Down part. Just give us the Vogue version, you know.
So here's the thing. I understood the Shake Your Body Down part because if you remember, that's the only song that she goes around the whole actual loop.
She didn't go.
So
yes, she did. Oh no,
Break My Soul is the only one that she walks around because that's what she goes onto the two sides. So that's the only one that she does. Yes, she did because what's her name? No, because what's her name was in the audience. One of the person who did the background was in the audience at Philly, and she was down there. It's the only time that she's on the outer side of the circle.
She does that whole loop all the way around.
Yeah, that's the only one.
Maybe not.
No, because what happens is because she does the wiggle part, the shaking her ass back towards this way, and then she walks down. And then the remix and the Shake Your Body Down is what happens around the outer part. And so I understood using that as a way to dance around, to make her way around the loop. Because that's the one song, that's the only time that she goes around
Corey's
the
mad.
whole thing.
Corey's like, you ain't gonna dance over here? Again, thinking he's the star in the building. He was legit. Man, like, if y'all see him outside the podcast, he'll probably bring it up.
I will say this to the community, and the best seats are Club Renaissance. Period. The best seats are Club Renaissance.
Do you think it's nowhere on the floor if you get close enough and you're short though? That was Corey's fears. Like I'm short, and if we don't get close enough, if I get a tall motherfucker in front of me,
there is so much space in Club Renaissance.
Okay.
You can follow her around Break My Soul.
Okay.
Because there's so much space in Club Renaissance. It's 21 plus, so you're not fighting kids.
Oh, there we go.
You are there with other adults. So there's like this kind of unspoken word of like respect the space. We ain't doing all this. We pay money to be here as well too. So and like the energy in Club Renaissance was just a lot different.
And the elevation made a difference too, because it wasn't so elevated that you were craning your neck, but you felt correct. It felt like right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, it's the best seats. I low key feel bad for anyone who got tickets around the outer circle, just because. I mean, yeah, you're close. Okay, I'm not going to take away from that. It is awesome to be close, right? But just to know that there's this tiny unused stage in between you. And her at the bottom of that damn runway. Would just drive me insane. Because you see a runway before you see Beyonce.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else doing that? Okay, so Break My Soul was like the ending of that. And it was dope because like she said Jilly for Philly and people went crazy.
I love
they kept showing Jasmine Sullivan on the screen. And I'm not gonna say what Corey said then because anyway, I texted y'all what he said. And shout out to Jasmine Sullivan. Her mom just passed, so shout out to you, boo. Thinking of you.
Damn.
But yeah. So they were going crazy for Jasmine on the screen, and then when she said "Jilly from Philly, I love you, boo," the Philly went crazy. And then that was the end of Act 3. So you're like catching your breath. You're like, damn, what the hell else?
I'm trying to remember.
At that point, you.
Okay. Oh, I'm trying to remember when was she flying through the air?
That's at the very end.
That's right.
That's at the very end.
Yeah. I was literally trying to remember before we hopped on the podcast. I'm like, I'm trying to remember exactly where she was flying through the air.
Yeah. The very last song. The very last song.
Oh, so he was really in outer space if he transfixed from Break My Soul to the end.
Look, I distinctly remember the few things that I remember. I distinctly remember looking around. I was like, what the hell is she doing up there? just flying and flipping around. Like, what the hell?
I'm not gonna lie. After Break My Soul, Carell, I looked at my watch and I said, It's 9:30.
That part.
Yeah.
I said, bitch, we're not supposed to be out
I
there
said
till
we only on like
11:30.
track 6 of the album.
But not even just that. I was just like, to that point, I was like, we're on track 6, but I'm like, what is she gonna do for another 2 more hours?
No,
I
and
was just,
then
she
bitch,
delivered.
she did.
then she
She
came up
did.
with that damn metal ass hat, like,
Honey. And before even that, the video interlude before that had like the No Angel and Ghost and all that.
yes.
That rendition was fire. And then you just hear
Mhm.
boom, 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 the opening formation, and formation still
Girl.
fucking hits. You hear
It
that opening thing,
does.
it still fucking hits.
Bitch.
And we didn't even talk about the fashions so far. Maybe we could talk about that at the end. But the fashions of every tour, and she still got them big ass metal hats doing it.
Well, this time they're metal because before they weren't metal. They
Right.
weren't metal before. And I let me tell you, the metal hats remind me of like fucking Mortal Kombat, bitch. You
Right.
just cut some bitches. So, like,
Exactly. I thought the
decapitate a hoe with that damn thing, bitch. You know that bitch is heavy. Like,
yeah, that's all I wrote down. Formation still is the damn song still goes off.
Yeah,
that shit still go off, and it still.
And
I
like
live.
the transition from formation to diva, bitch, and like the way she just like boom, boom, just. Girl,
God.
because you're in formation and it's hitting, and then it goes into diva, and you're like, yeah,
it's like, bitch, I'm about to get whiplash.
it carries so hard. It
Yes.
carries so hard into diva. You just,
and then she does a little Uzi Vert because she doesn't just want to rock at the end of diva.
Yeah.
I picture you. If you go.
Ma'am.
If you know Uzi.
Ma'am.
I was like,
and then from there goes into who
runs the world. Runs the world.
And I'm just like, talk about like 3 songs in a row that are just like
slayers.
Iconic.
Right. And like just solidifying like, bitch, I'm that bitch. Like I'm that. It goes back to the opening. I'm that girl. You really are that girl.
Y'all really ain't stopping me.
You really are that girl.
Yeah.
Just not. Just not. Yeah.
Oh. Oh my God. And then goes from Run the World.
My power.
Well, hold on. This is when I said she got money. So this is where all our money went. She said, I'm just going to stay here with all the CO2 canisters like 9 times going. Y'all hoes could do it once. I'm going to stay here and stunt on your hoes, just stunt. Every tour stop. And let all this CO2 go. I was like, okay, that's where my money went. Yup, you're right. That's where my money went. That and a tank and a big ass horse and a disco globe. And
girl.
That's where my money
all
went.
The props.
Right. But just standing there, that shit go. I was like, you know what? That's a superstar right there. But then Run the World. Then goes into My Power.
My Power.
And y'all got the first blue. Y'all got the first blue. Y'all got recital mode blue. Now we got the hands and the everything blue now.
If ever there was a unified auntie moment where you just felt so much pride for her to get up on that stage in front of all these people at that young of an age, everybody was cheering her on. Everybody was cheering her on. And it's just like you well up. Like you just well up because it is just an indescribable feeling. And it's like, this ain't my niece. This isn't my like right. But like you feel like that sense of pride for her and what she's going through. It was really incredible.
Yeah.
And it's crazy too, because like she is her own certified celebrity at this point.
Period.
Her own certified celebrity. Like, and she's 11.
Out there killing hoes.
She's Grammy winner already. she didn't perform on a world tour. Like what is it?
She performed at the Oscars.
What is you know how when you come back
now?
You know when you come back from summer break at school and everybody's talking about what you did for summer. everybody talking
the
about
whole world.
their friends are talking about, yeah, we went to Kokomo Lake and we got to go on jet skis and I had fun. And Blue Ivy just sitting there like,
Honey.
Kokomo Lake, huh?
okay, that's cute.
Mm.
She said,
That's cute or whatever.
Wait,
She said, I like that for
wake
you.
me up later.
Right. I'm telling you, and the thing is, like, the
Honey.
anticipation now, because everybody knows when
Yeah.
Blue's supposed to come out now.
Mhm.
And so we was anticipating too. We're like, okay, is Blue come out today? And I was like, okay, it's Philly. I don't know if she's gonna come out in Philly. I know it's the first stop of the US leg, but I don't know. Bitch, Blue came out and we lost our shit. Like
Look, we knew that there was going to be something special. We knew because there was rumors that like maybe she was going to bring out like Madonna. Like we knew
Nicki
there was
Minaj, Lady Gaga. There was just a bunch.
a bunch of
that's
things.
the biggest stunt. She's like, no, I got Blue motherfucking Ivy home.
And the way that she introduced her though was slick as hell. Like
it's because it's the lines of my power. She like,
Yeah.
this
From the
my
Lion King.
kinfolk, this my yeah. Like she literally introduced him. This is mine right here. This is
Right
what's
here.
next.
Right.
Like
That's what makes
and
you
you know
well
what's
up. Literally.
but you
It
know
makes
what?
weepy.
What's also crazy too? It just makes me remember too. Blue Ivy been doing that choreography since Black is King.
Yeah.
She was in that music video
Yeah.
as well with
Yeah.
her.
Yep.
She's like, oh, I know this.
So like, girl.
And then they do that pound, and again, nobody outwalks fucking Beyonce. Even the walk, you're like, bitch, she walking that
But she
shit out
turns
the song.
literally. She literally turns and she goes, "Go get him!"
Right. This is your show now.
Yeah.
And Blue out there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Killed
leading
it.
The dancers out and killing it.
Like literally holding her own. Like at 10, 11 years old. How?
And then we get to Black Parade and Beyonce's like, oh, you know what I want for this song? I want a motherfucking tank that's on hydraulics. And I want that shit to roll from the back of the stage down the ramp to the middle. And I'm just going to dance and do hair choreography up there. That's what I want. Make it happen. I said a fucking tank?
Look.
This was literally like the manifestation of Beyonce's vision board. She put all of her little stickers and cutouts and whatnot. And like this is what I'm manifesting, and that shit came to life.
Right,
1000%. And let me tell you, the next couple of songs that come after it make sense when you see her on the tank.
Yeah,
you know, like because next after
Black Parade,
my power after Black Parade is Savage.
Yep.
Bitch, I'm a savage. Bitch, of course you a savage on a motherfucking tank, bitch. Like, come on now. I can't even.
And it was very cool hearing like Megan Thee Stallion on that as well, because you got so many other mixes and flavors, throughout at this point. And just to hear just like another element of just rap royalty was just
that Houston show gonna be it. You know Megan coming out on the
really
tank.
Is.
She coming out of a mansion tank. They about to have two tanks.
Girl. Her tank coming from the ceiling. Okay.
Oh my God.
Drop it in.
And just
drop it in.
Just busting it too. Just busting it.
And then I love that she ends with partition. Bitch, and she's just right now fucking tank, bitch. Look.
Oh.
Hair going everywhere. I was like, I cannot stand you, Beyonce. I cannot stand you.
This is like the moment where like the show becomes very sexual. Like very, very like again, this moment of like this way of seducing the audience, and like started out with like, like the slow kind of like, I'm just gonna like ease into it. I'm just gonna, give you a little something. Then like this kind of build up to high energy to like, now I'm gonna take this all the way back and strip it all the way down and take you to the bedroom.
And then she said, then after I take you to the bedroom, I'm gonna take you to church.
Yeah.
She did. Church girl.
Because she came out with the high Daya. All Clark sisters. She came up with like the Family Feud. She came up with Beyonce. Then she came to Church Girl,
Yeah.
which
Mhm.
was dope. How she did Church Girl slow for like
Yeah.
the verse, and then it
Uh-huh.
went into the 808s. The drop it like
Yeah,
drop it
because
like,
it had because it had elements of ego in there. It had
Yes.
elements of
Oh my
ego in there,
God.
which I
Oh.
was like, bitch, I didn't even think about. Because I mean, egos, I love ego. Like
Yeah.
that is such a good fucking song.
Yeah,
I
because
just,
it was a horn stabs from Ego in there.
yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh,
And then she switched
then
up to
Get
Get
Me
Me
Bodied.
Bodied and then
Yeah.
Freakum Dress. Yes.
Which fake me, I still need the whole Freakum Dress. Freakum Dress is in my top 3 of
Mhm.
Beyonce songs. So anytime I
Yeah.
hear that come through, I'm like, I need the entirety, please. The entirety. But it was dope how she put it in there.
Yeah.
But Get Me Bodied is still a bop.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Still a good feel-good mood. And she was mixing it with Before I Let Go before she even went
Yeah.
into Before I Let Go.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then went to
Mhm.
Before I Let Go, and everybody in the crowd was doing the hustle and everything, doing their little
Yep.
two-steps. And I was like, I can't take this. And this is
Yeah.
where I was
Yeah.
like starting to just get overwhelmed. I was like,
Yes.
this is so much.
Mhm.
This
Mhm.
is so much. I
Yeah.
don't know what to
It's
do with
just
myself.
yes,
And this
that's
is
literally, and that's the half, and
this
this
is
is like
halfway.
just slightly after halfway. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the
This is
halfway point,
like
and you're just sitting like
23,
just
24 songs at this
stimulated
point.
on so many levels. Just stimulated on so many levels. The visuals, the dancing, the outfits, the crowd,
The story,
energy,
the whole
like
story, the journey that she's
everything
taking you
about
on.
it. It's just everything. And then she goes,
Can
hold
I
on.
do something for her? It's like, yes, bitch, please. What you gonna do?
And then she hits us with Rather Die Young.
Honey, I'd rather die young than
And
live
live my life without
you.
you.
She goes,
Oh!
I need to live. Oh, live my life. Oh my God, that song, that might be my favorite song on the album.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
That
my
and
God.
Party are probably my 2 favorite albums on that song.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
You're right.
And then gives the crowd what they want, which is Love on
Love on
Yes.
Top.
Top.
And then
Love on Top.
the
Mhm.
biggest crowd participation
The
song on
sing
earth.
along.
Because
Absolutely.
we all love a key change.
Let
Oh,
me
yeah.
tell you. And everyone loves that song because it keeps going, and she's like, all right, y'all gotta stop.
Y'all gonna have to stop today.
We only halfway through. We got more show, y'all. We gonna have to stop. Y'all did that though.
But
Give
literally,
yourselves a round of
but,
applause.
but
Give yourself a
literally,
round of applause.
this is exactly what she said. Because
Yeah.
the whole stadium, all 85,000 of us were singing at the top of our lungs.
Girl.
Every show,
Yeah.
every show you see it, like that's the
Yeah.
part where everyone's just living it. And this is the
Yeah.
song that I thought she was going to take the semitones down a lot, just because it modulates pretty high. She only took it down a half step, so I was like,
Yeah.
ooh. And then the mic was on; she was still singing without the music, making sure we was
Yep.
still on key
Mhm.
and still on
Mhm.
beat,
Yep.
because you know they got them
Absolutely.
headphones in, making sure okay,
And
we
you
still
can
on
she,
beat.
and she can hear. Like it's
Yes.
really dope to. I love the crowd participation of the all in that
Yes.
song. You know, like
Yes.
we become part of the act.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also feel like
Yeah.
that's a moniker of like superstardom. Like when you can literally just like turn your mic off and like the crowd is just carrying the song forward for you and with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It's
But
amazing.
you do it sparingly. You do it sparingly.
Oh,
That's why I
Mhm.
like still
Yeah.
get mad at a Rihanna concert. 'cause
I was
that
going to
bitch-
say, not like Rihanna, where you singing the whole concert for her.
I'm not
You
singing no
just
more
showing up.
Rihanna.
Oh, go ahead.
Not singing no more. But then I like how she mixed it with "I Want You Back" too on this song. So that was
Yes.
a pretty nice little
Mhm.
Yeah.
nod
Mhm.
to the past.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then you like, "Ooh, I'm about horse." Then she said,
I'm a
1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
It's like, let me catch my breath right quick, girl.
No. It's I love the changes of between the two songs because it's tough. You're talking about Love on Top and you go
Mhm.
up there
Mhm.
and now you
Crazy
literally
in
are
love
just
up there.
because you're crazy in love. Like that's
Mhm.
literally what we do. Like her telling us stop shows that we're crazy in love. It's the
Who he
perfect
think he is?
follow-up song.
Tennis
Look,
shoes don't even need
what
to
he
buy
did
a
to
new
me.
dress.
Look.
And she sang the second verse, which was interesting. Like she didn't do the first verse, so I was like, okay, that's dope that she
Yeah.
started with the second verse.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
then she did the original key on this one. So I was like, oh, bitch, singing at this point. Her vocal cords are warped. And then she did the original choreography at the end,
Mhm.
Yep.
including
Girl.
like the
Mhm.
Yeah, look.
The original choreography. I was like, yes, bitch, we ain't seen that since probably, I don't know. I don't even think she did the original choreography on Mrs. Carter tour. So what was the one right before that? The Beyonce experience.
Beyonce experience.
I think the last time she did it was in Beychella. I think Beychella.
She didn't even do the original there because she did the.
Oh no, she didn't. She did, because she did the.
Right. She hasn't done the original choreography in a long time.
She hasn't did it in a minute. Damn.
So I was eating. I was like, because me and my brother always do that every time we hear that song, we together. Because my brother's just a ham, and we do that whole. Be killing it.
And you gotta do that.
Oh, that's everything. So then I was like, oh my God, what else? And then the band takes over, and the band is just killing me.
You know what? I'm so mad we didn't have Corey Edward film your ass while you were there. I know somebody out there in the world saw your ass being like,
I couldn't take it.
Just losing it, girl. I know you were just in your seat having a grand fucking.
And it was funny because like some of the interludes, people were starting to sit down because they was tired. Not me. Like I was like living my entire life. I couldn't. And then like they ended that section with Green Light. Green Light. That band was playing the shit out that song.
I appreciate. Oh, Boo, your mic is out. I really appreciate the fact that Beyonce at every one of her concerts gives everybody, from the background singers to the band to the dancers to whoever, to the people that are sweeping the floor. She gives everybody a moment.
That's a true statement. That is a true statement. Because like, is that the part where the background singers were also doing their songs, singing it too?
Yeah.
So, now I'm over here about to lose my voice, getting hype again. I spent my life away. It was insane.
So we go from that to what? Plastic off the sofa.
All right, we're going to take a little quick tea break. And actually, it's going to be the end of this episode because we got so much more to say. So we're going to split this episode into two. And so you get the second dose of it next week. The additional acts. We talk about the acts. What else we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the fashion and really just
inspiration.
The album. Woo. And if it's our favorite
impact.
album. Like, is it still the impact, our favorite songs on the album? So a lot more to talk about. So we didn't know we was going to talk this long, but we're talking this long. So wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass. See you next week, and part 2 next week.
Bye.